Welcome back, guys, to the KeSPA Cup here live at the Nexon Arena. Once again, sponsored by Latte Home Shopping. We got a series here between Maru and Impact. Impact trying to stay in it versus Maru, but Maru has taken the lead 2-1.
Yeah, Impact is showing us a really cool Mutalisk style. His defense with the Mutalisk is really good, and actually, like, he's making the Mutalisk more of a part of his army composition than harassing units, but it's also, like, limiting his potential for damage. We saw in on the second map that he was able to harass with them really, really well, or, you know, as well as he could, all things considered. And in the first game, he did a decent amount of it once he was, like, winning the game. But I feel like he could definitely do that a little bit earlier. That's what you were actually talking to me about during the break. And I think you're right. Like, I think he definitely could be doing a little bit more harass with these Mutalisks he's committing to so early. Especially two-base Mutalisks. I mean, Maru read him like a book, had the turrets up, but still he could have tried for a little bit more.
Yeah. At the same time, it was only like one turret in the main. Like you said, I think he could have tried harder. I think the position on that map also really kind of messed up the play. But guys, let's jump into map number 4, Moonlight Madness.
Green Wings Maru, 조성준 vs SK텔레콤 T1 Impact, 김준혁.
Down in the bottom left, our Terran buddy, it is Maru.
Up to the top right, in purple, it's Impact. Purple always seems like not the color you'd expect to see in StarCraft.
Well,
should be banned from all ZVZs.
It works out for Zerg. I mean, it matches the creep at least.
Yeah. Which makes it harder to see buildings at like a far away glance. That's all right. Oh, okay. For a second, I thought we were going to see an early pool because the board seemed late, but no. Nope. Don't freak out, Wolf. Failfish. Wolf always does this.
He says, "I am the Viper. I fire."
He got the Marauder from America.
Oh,
Urgolm is the word they use for Marauder.
Fire Bear is Marauder.
Yep.
What? What?
I think it also is the word, and please correct me if I'm wrong, someone on Twitter. I believe it's actually the word for a bastard as well. Like, and I think that's why they end up using that for Marauder.
That's edgy.
Yeah. So,
Fire Bear. That's what I'm going to call Marauders from now on.
Someone told me that. I'm not familiar with the term. These are like not the Korean words I like actually study. I'm like not looking up like what illegitimate child, like, I'm like, how do you say that in Korean? Let me ask about it. Positive dinner table
you're like, I really
conversation.
need to know about this, like, just in case, you know. Just watching a lot of Game of Thrones, so.
Yeah, I do actually watch quite a bit of that.
Now, spoiler alert, there are some of those in Game of Thrones.
There are a few. Some of them you might not even know. You find out later. Well, we are going to see a pool first here, so I was right to a certain extent about the early pool. Just wasn't as early as I thought.
Another safe pool from Impact. Kind of just wants to make it into the mid-game. You notice he goes for a big scout there in his back door, too, just to make sure that Impact, or rather Maru, isn't doing anything tricky.
This map just reminds me of Moonglade.
Really? Why is that?
Just gives me a feeling of Moonglade for some reason. I'm not sure. Like,
is it the lava down there?
Yeah, like it just feels like kind of dark and very like on the lava side, like very hot, like the desert in Australia.
So you're saying that Moonglade is dark and hot?
He is actually. He's got long hair. He's handsome, very attractive. It's really hot in Seoul. It's really hot in Australia, no doubt in the desert. Not right now. It's really cold, I guess, because they have opposite seasons down there. The toilets like rotate the other way for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. Wouldn't know anything about that. The
only
only thing I know about
science.
is StarCraft.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a map just gives me a Moonglade vibe. Like I feel like the map needs to have a little bit longer hair, and then I really.
Yeah. Wear a leather bracket.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Absolutely. Well, look at this micro, this sick micro on the hatchery.
He's juking and jiving
He
around
hit
that
it again.
guy.
He walked away. Hatch
Yeah.
didn't have anything to do about that.
Decided not to continue going for it. When Fantasy came on this map, he was all about the abuse, man. In this entire series, just all the new maps in this map pool, he was all about just abusing those high grounds. He was doing tank drops, tanks behind the rocks and dash and terminal.
Yeah.
And doesn't seem like Maru wants to go for that. Just more very straight up play.
I think the tank drops are pretty cool. I mean, they were pretty popular on Lost Temple in the beginning of StarCraft 2. I know that brings back nightmares for people. I didn't actually catch those games. I don't know if he's going to catch this Reaper. He did.
Ooh, and the second one is
he's going to lose it
down.
Ouch.
That's a big blunder. He didn't even get one kill.
There's a very fast Spore Crawler here, by the way.
Yeah, Impact's been doing this.
Like, that's insanely fast. Like, slow down there.
What? I mean,
it's because he didn't cancel when he was doing his drone micro, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, that must be it.
Oops.
Well, at least he'll have that for later, I suppose.
Green commentator saying that's pretty funny.
Yeah. He, like, has an Overlord at the base of Maru and sees that he's not going for anything too tricky.
So what happened with Fantasy's tank drops? Did he commit, like, super hard to, like, make turrets up there and stuff? Or was
No, it was just like a one tank drop and got some Marines back there to protect it. And it was pretty cool. It was a nice idea. It's because Fantasy, you know, he's not really playing in many individual leagues and definitely not Pro League right now. He's on that foreign team, so he had a lot of time to study the new maps, whereas a lot of the other players who are on KeSPA teams didn't really have that time because they were playing in, you know, Pro League finals for some of the guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, Dark, he was playing in the finals, of course.
And we've already started Season 3 of Star League without these maps. It's not going to change in the middle. And to be totally frank, the feedback I've heard from Korean pros about these maps is not positive. I do not think we'll see these maps in season or round 4 of Pro League either. It's probably not going to be a change to the pool. So these maps are probably going to be a KeSPA Cup only thing for Korea. And I have this feeling in my gut that they'll probably not be used for BlizzCon either. So this might be like a short-term thing for these maps. Big
Get
drop.
that tingle in your elbow?
Yeah, I got that feeling. You know, I just don't know. Blizzard definitely does hear people's opinions on this sort of issue. That tumor does get taken out, but the Hellions are spotted and shut down. The one thing that the Impact is really good at is defense in this matchup. He will just not be caught off guard by anything. He's insanely good at that.
I mean, what was that? The 6-minute Spore Crawler, right?
Yeah.
It's the new strat here. You know, just in case, even when you see that nothing's coming, that you need a Spore Crawler for.
He's like,
you know.
He's like, I'll get the money back later. I'm going to have to make one later anyways. I'm going to lose some money if I cancel it. Drone would have made it back anyways, but I don't like to think about math. Is this actually a 8 Hellion drop maneuver?
Looks like it.
Hellbat, excuse me. I didn't realize that armory was done. Hello, Hellbats.
There are a lot of Lings and 5 Queens, but this is 8 Hellbats, man.
Yeah, and a lot of Lings is exactly what these Hellbats want to fight. It's all about the Queens you just mentioned. Good splits on the Queens here to minimize splash damage.
We're going to see for the first time Impact morph his Banes in a good spot. That's a good sign here.
Yeah. Spine's going down at the third base. The Banelings are actually about to finish. I don't think Maru should be committing here. Whoa. Why did he do that? There's no explanation.
I think he just wanted to kill the Banelings maybe before they morphed, but
You can
too
never.
late. He did get 11 kills on the drones, but he lost 8 Hellbats.
You can never. Never. Like, assume that Banelings are just started morphing. There's no way for you to know, but assuming you know what they say about it, it's just not a good decision.
Yeah, that's exactly what they say.
Yeah.
Assuming, don't do it.
Yeah. I think I read that on a billboard once or something.
We got another factory made.
Just going really hardcore on the Hellbats. So the second factory, as you mentioned, 3 drops of Hellbats now going across the map. That Spore Crawler from earlier, proving his worth.
Doing that work. Really nice split here on the Hellbats.
Yeah, very important.
Fantastic. Only taking out 2 of those guys. Going to delay even more mining here. And the second drop coming in.
Oh, he's just dropping everywhere.
This is a very cool style from Maru. We rarely see this, in fact. from Maru. He's even making double Viking production at the same time, which is also very interesting.
Yeah.
Not sure how that's going to work out.
Oh yeah, 3 Vikings.
4 Vikings.
Okay, I think
and he's making more.
I think I get it. This map has a lot of it has like a lot of places where you can hide behind. Like there's a lot of lava. That's why it reminds me of Moonglade. But
yeah.
It's like there's a lot of spaces where if you have Vikings killing overlords, they can just fly back over the crevasses, the crevasses, that sort of stuff and hide. He can deal with the early mutalisks with them as well. And I think he's actually just going to go for an overlord wipe. We've seen this before. You can actually just kill like every overlord on the map and then win the game.
I suppose.
It's pretty rare, but we do see it sometimes.
He's going for Starport, though. Quadruple Starport.
He already has +1 for them. He's getting +2. I don't think Maru's trolling.
Is this going to be like Sky Terran in a bit?
I think so. He's getting cloaked. These Hellions could actually be switched to Hellbat mode to do a little bit more damage, but he's trying to line these up instead. Doesn't get too much done. He's switched to Banshees now. I'll look at these Starports a little bit closer. Okay, he has triple Tech Lab. Let's go in 3-port Banshee with some Viking support. Well,
and
BC is the natural transition, right?
Yeah, and I suppose here from Impact that he hasn't really identified this. I think he knows that Maru's going some kind of mech-ish thing. He's committing to, the range upgrades for his units. He's getting the road speed already in Hydras, but only 7 mutas on the map.
Yeah, he saw a lot of Vikings, but he hasn't seen the additional starports. He has, he knows now. And he is going to see this. We send his Overseer into the main. There's no defense
turret
for these. Nothing.
No turret. He's done it again.
Oh, man. This is not enough Vikings here. He's actually going to lose his Vikings. The rest of his Vikings need to come home, but they're so far away. They're so slow. There's 1 Marine in that bunker.
Man. And at the same time, he's opened up those back rocks. Also occurring now is a drop coming in at the 3rd base. But look at this. He's still doing damage. He didn't even pull those SCVs for so long.
This attack might do too much damage. How many roaches does he have? Oh, it's actually a small roach count. He doesn't have his Hydralisks with him. The Hydralisks are part of the answer to this problem. The other part he's going to want is definitely Infestors. Without Infestors, dealing with this many Banshees is going to become a serious issue because he has Blue Flame Hellions with +2 as well to help deal with the Hydras. And, I mean, we very rarely see the unit interaction, Hydras versus Hellbats and Hellions. And let me tell you guys, it's not good for the Hydras in most cases because they are light units and they don't have a lot of hit points, and they do tend to stack up and clump up, as you can see here, which is part of the reason why they're not good versus siege tanks either. The Banshees that he's making here are going to be really good as long as he can keep the Hydralisk count low at killing literally everything except Infestors, which we do not see on the map. He has an Infestation Pit.
Yeah, but no Glands upgrade just yet.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a Hive as well. I mean, he can definitely take this to bigger and better places if he can survive the initial pushes.
Really nice scan here. Catches the entire army of Impact and Impact.
That's like Maru's game sense. That's his level. He's like, I have a feeling you're coming over here with a small group of units at this exact place. I mean, it could have been anywhere on that path. He gets exactly where they are.
Nice little harass here at the gas. If we can get that, that would be pretty nice. Grabs 2 of those gas SCVs at least, and he is going to lose these mutas.
I think he's okay with it because he's got so few of them. But his Vikings have +2. It's actually the last muta gets away.
Really, the scariest thing for the army of Impact are the tanks. How many tanks do we actually have on the map?
Not too many. 5.
Making 2 at a time now. I think Maru has identified that he needs more tanks, but
yeah. Oh, you're right. Definitely. Adding extra CCs now. This is going to go late game. This game is just strange, man. Like I'm not like giving any definite feelings about this because I feel like we've seen this situation so few times. Like I'm probably just wrong. Like he's going into Ultralisk instead of Infestors again. I question this choice, but Impact's a pro, has a lot more experience than me, and I just have never seen this before.
The scary thing here is going to be the Banshees. It's really only the Hydras.
Oh my God! I didn't even think of this idea. I'm going to blow your mind. How is he going to detect them if he can't keep Overseers alive with this many Vikings? He will have no detection, so the Vikings can snipe the Overseer. I don't know why this idea was not the most obvious stipulation to me at the beginning, but if he just snipes the Overseers, then how is he going to detect? He's going to have to make a lot of overseers.
Yeah, he really will. More than the amount he's got now, which is only 3. I'm not sure even Impact has realized this just yet. And looking at the army of Impact, it's not too scary. And Maru setting up really nicely here below the 4th base, already shelling at the hatchery. Impact going for a big counterattack meantime.
Now he's going to actually turn around. He realizes this. Banshees and Vikings not the fastest units at returning home, though. Oh, pull that siege tank into death. A blinding cloud on the ramp. A Viper kind of useless otherwise. There's no ground units here to be found, and blinding cloud doesn't work on the air. So this is going to get shut down now. But look at that. There's the close. You can't see anything. There's nothing.
Lost his overseer earlier there just to the 2 Vikings. Maru doing a great job of sniping that out. These +3 Vikings, I believe.
Yes.
Getting to quick work on the roaches that only have +1.
Now he's got a detector, and there's no Vikings here. But look, you can actually just fight these Hydras. Yeah. I feel like Impact just did not prepare well enough against this. He made way too many roaches that are totally useless now. He's only just now adding infestors, and I want to point out that, like you mentioned before, he did not get the Pathogen Glands upgrade, so they're not going to be able to fight for a while. And, you're going to want a ton of Queens, Hydras, and infestors. Infestors are the obvious choice against a comp like this.
Yep. But these infestors, as you said, no Pathogen Glands, they're just going to be sitting in the main as this attack comes down. Impact has lost his 4th base, mind you, to those tanks. He's desperately trying to take more, but Maru wants to end this game right now.
I mean, he has on the map right now 12 Banshees. And let me tell you guys how much Banshees do, because I don't even know with +3. They do, well, the tooltip won't show for me. That makes me really sad, but I want to know exactly how much damage a Banshee does in one shot. It's probably like 30-something. It might be like 37.
Fungal's trying to come down. He gets 3 of the Banshees, but he's going to need some more.
Well, he lost a lot of those Banshees, a lot of hit points as well, so the attack will have to not cease, but he's going to actually have to pull back a little bit more carefully here. He's going to land the Vikings.
Ooh, the blinding cloud
on Vikings.
Huge. Those are some awesome blinding clouds. Really going to clean up this entire force of Maru, in fact. And Maru's going to have to back off. He's only got 2 tanks. He's taking out all these hatcheries, but the army right now of Impact is so scary.
Yeah. He has planetaries up around the map. He's going to lose another tank here, it looks like, based on the roaches chasing. Scans, he sees the army is going to commit to this location, and he's going to have to wait for these next 2 tanks to pop out. He should be able to hold this.
Oh, man. Impact's on 1 hatchery, though.
Yeah, he should hold this because it looks like there's no detection with this again, and there's a few T-tanks on the high ground.
Oh, the fungal! He's going to get all those Banshees.
Oh, wow. Even if he infested Terrans?
Oh, it doesn't link it up.
Yeah, that's okay, though.
Look at the scans going down. He's like, oh, you just don't have any bases.
Yeah.
Well.
I really don't want to say it before, but I feel like this is kind of a pretty hard level of disrespect right now for Maru. Like, he's literally scanning to say, like, where are your bases? You don't have any. Like, he's trying to say to him, like, you have no hatcheries. I think there's actually a chance we'll see him try to snipe the hive and the macro hatch in the main base to reveal him. He has so many scans that he's just using them to now try to find out if the army is there or not, so he can kill the hatch. He's like, is it there?
Yeah, I mean, it could be disrespect, but it also is useful information here for Maru. He really does need to know when those bases are coming up.
For example, that scan we just saw him on that base to see if it was back up or not is actually a really good scan, because if it's just started, 3 Banshees can snipe that so fast with +3. But I think some of the other scans we're seeing at the bases that were like near Maru's base, I'm just like, of course Impact doesn't have a base there. Like, you're just scanning to troll.
Maru's sitting on all the planetaries, as you said. It is so hard to penetrate the bases of Terran on this map, actually, which is why I think Maru does go for this style.
Yeah, I mean, the planetary is definitely a really good choice. No tight wall here at the top of the ramp, and with only 3 Banshees, these roaches are definitely going to do some serious damage. Look at these scans. He checks all lanes. He's going to know that no units are coming down the middle, I guess.
Take out the tanks. There you go. Now coming in, but he's been running these roaches around for a long time. He's going to be able to snipe a lot of tanks, in fact.
Yeah.
May not be the worst trade in the world.
He has no money is the issue, though. Look at his minerals. He's got some gas that he can't even spend. This might be the last push we see this game.
We're going to have to see some magical fungals, man.
Yeah, the splitting here for Maru is obviously important, but even without splits, I think he could just A-move. Even with, like, if he landed the Vikings just A-moved, I think he could attack there. I actually do not know, because this interaction happens very rarely where someone would actually want to do this. I don't know if Vikings can land while fungled. I think that they can. The only reason I think that is because Blink Stalkers used to be able to blink while fungled, and that was changed specifically for Stalkers. I don't know if that will block Vikings from landing. That's something to keep in mind, though, because if they get fungled while they're in the air and they can't land, then that will be an issue. And we do see fungles on Vikings a lot, but no one's ever trying to land them after that.
Right now, the army here of Maru is only air, pretty much. He's got 2 tanks. And it's all about the Vikings, all about the Banshees. As I said before, we need some magical fungals. Snipes the Overseer.
Imagine if Zerg had feedback, man. Feedback all these Banshees. All right, again, he fungles.
Really nice fungals, in fact, and he is going to link him up, but the question is, does he have enough?
I don't think so. There go the Vikings. Okay, you can't land. Some of those over there at the top definitely couldn't. But the ones that weren't fungal do land, and that's going to be it. That's going to be game here. GG. Maru. Whoa.
He will move on.
Sky Terran, still viable, KeSPA?
Maybe on that map, man. Noonglade, I don't know what you were thinking designing that map that way.
Yeah.
I know you're listening.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like the Twitch issue is fixed, by the way. I do see that more of you are filling in here, unless like 2,000, 3,000 of you all just subscribed at once, which that would be great as well, but I don't think that happened.
That would be fantastic, like, get esports going, but... Well, Impact, he put up a nice little showing there against Maru, but at the end of the day, Maru's just experience overall and stronger play pulled him through. Impact playing a nice little style, but yeah, that map was really hard for him, I feel there. Even the positioning at the 4th base, you know how you can get those tanks down and just like shelling it is so hard to take them down. There are a lot of really strong Terran maps in this pool, I feel.
Yeah, there really are. This is what many people are considered to be a bad pool. I said before, I think that it's still early, and this tournament is going to be the best data that Blizzard could ever take from these maps, to be totally frank. And we'll see how, like, because I mean, at the highest level, Korean pros